So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending where you are. This is Cesar Trabanco from the Global Chamber, and this is our League of Opportunities, part two, the last one for 2025. And as many of you already know, or for those who are new to the Global Chamber, this is a call where we highlight um, a group of members, around 5 to 6 members, with intention to learn more about their background, about what they're doing, opportunities in their business, in their industries, and with the end goal of finding connections and finding prospect partners, clients for them. Um, I mentioned before the official start that depending how it goes, we might have a little bit of time towards the end to maybe do a quick roundtable, but we'll start highlighting the ones I invited to be speakers today. So I would like to start with Joe Price from Intentional Achievement in Phoenix. Joe Price has been a great supporter of dog initiatives there locally, and I know he's involved in different projects, including with Lida Cubillo and many others. So Joe, it is a pleasure. I think it's the first time I meet you. I don't know. I
Yes,
might be wrong, but it is the
no,
first
it's
time. So
true. We've
so I
emailed,
really
but that was it.
yeah. So I really look forward to learn more about your background, about what you're doing with intentional achievement, and especially how we can help you. And let's try to have around 10 minutes, eight minutes, so we can have a little bit of Q&As on that. And the floor is all yours.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity. And really, I'm here to introduce a concept to the global chamber and the local areas in a community we call intentional living communities that we would like to sort of offer to the local chapters that will help grow the chapter, have an impact on the local community, and also have an opportunity to grow, excuse me, grow some new leaders in your area and give an opportunity for people to shine and to grow. You guys are already doing some amazing things in connecting people locally and around the world. And the intentional living communities are here to sort of extend your ability to impact the local and the global community. Every business ecosystem is only as strong as the people that hold it together. And we can build great strategies and global connections and open doors. But if the leaders of those communities are not being supported, then it's possible that there might be a burnout and disengagement. And we have a tendency to react to the things that are going on. And our job with intentional living communities is to strengthen the people behind the chapters, behind the business. And when leaders gain more clarity, emotional control, intentional direction, everything works better, including partnerships and teams and global collaboration. So, our intentional living communities is how your chapter might extend its impact by strengthening your leadership capacity and helping people grow and lead both locally and globally. To make strong connections and strong leadership capabilities, we recognize that sometimes we have a tendency to react to things that are happening to us. And we know that intentionality is the opposite of reacting. And the intentional living communities will give you an opportunity to strengthen your ability to respond to situations and help grow your local communities as well as the global community. The interesting part about this whole thing is as you build your chapters, you're building trust in a sort of networking way. And what the intentional living communities can help you do is through small, consistent groups in your local areas to create structured conversations that help you build human trust as well as human networking. And the key here is that trust changes behavior because people listen more, collaborate faster, and take fewer defensive positions when there's trust among the group. And so your chapter is very rich with insight and experience. The intentional living community sort of are a rhythm that helps you extend that a little further than just your chapter itself. In the local intentional living community that we would like to build along with you, we have a set curriculum that's delivered once every 2 weeks. And that curriculum is universal principles that are applied everywhere in people's personal lives and in their business lives, and shows real life applications outside of the meeting. There's times for people to reflect on what's actually changed in their lives based on applying these principles. And leadership itself doesn't improve when people know more. It improves when people practice more of what they're learning and implementing it throughout their leadership ability. So, what we're talking about here is developing an intentional living community alongside your chapters that can help create structured reflection for the universal principles that you would be teaching, shared perspective instead of individual decision pressures, peer accountability focused on growth and not performance. And here's a big one that I think might be important for us. It's a practical pathway to develop future leaders through facilitation and people growth. So you can look into your chapters for people that you believe have leadership potential and that you want to grow in their leadership ability. Help ask them whether they would like to facilitate an intentional living community in your area, and that will help you using us to help them grow their leadership and then grow the impact of your chapter in your local areas. So the intentional living communities don't add any more activity. We just add and create some space to integrate and grow leaders, both yourself and people within your chapters. Emerging leaders gain real facilitation experience by facilitating these intentional living communities along with the work that you're doing in your chapters. And it helps reduce dependency on just a few key leaders, and it grows your capacity organically over time. And so, what we do is partner with you to build the next generation of leaders while supporting you and the ones that you have right now. So, what you guys are doing now, what we're doing with Global Chamber is connecting leaders and businesses, creating global access and opportunity, building trade lanes and partnerships, and expand reach across borders. What intentional living communities can add to that is we can help strengthen your leadership capacity, build emotional intelligence and clarity around intentional principles, deepen trust and belonging, and sustain leaders under pressure by helping them develop new opportunities for leadership growth. They're designed for 8 to 15 participants per local community. And if you have a large community, you might establish one, two, or three small intentional living communities in your area. They're lightweight and flexible. They could be in person, virtual, or hybrid based. They are typically 60 to 90 minutes long. Bi-weekly is what we're suggesting because that's when the content drops every 2 weeks. They're locally led but globally aligned because the way we've structured them is that every intentional living community, no matter where they are in the world, are studying the exact same material at the same time. So you can go from India to Washington, D.C., and you'll be studying the exact same thing that you would be if you were in your local home chapter. and they're easy to integrate because there's no large events or venues or heavy administration requirements. It's not another program, it's a way to support your leadership and grow it. So, what we provide is a curriculum that's dropped bi-weekly that is based on universal intentional principles. We'll provide the leader with a facilitation guide and do some additional training, both facilitation skills and leadership skills. We'll give you a digital platform through which you can communicate, and we'll give you ongoing support and alignment. And what you do is you identify the participants that you would like in your intentional living communities, select the facilitator, whether it's yourself or someone from your chapter, choose the meeting cadence, how often that you want to meet, and what the vehicles might be, and then shape the cultural context for the local area where you are. It's simple, and we keep it simple intentionally because we want to focus on people development, not give you another process that you have to engage in. Tell you a little bit about Intentional Achievements. We're a global leadership development organization with one core principle. We help leaders live and lead more intentionally. And we gave a presentation probably about a month ago or so about intentional leadership. And some of the feedback that we got back was we learned more about intentionality in an hour than we've learned in months and years in reading about it in the past. Being intentional is the foundation of everything that we teach because intentionality creates clarity and trust. And with clarity and trust comes sustainable leadership. And that's not an accident. We focus on leadership capacity, clarity, and intentional action. And we provide frameworks locally and across the world to help people grow intentionally. We design and steward the intentional living community model and to help you build it there locally. A simple path, we can create a pilot program to where you can run an intentional living community one or two times and see if it's working for you. If it's working, we'll help you build it and grow. And if it's not working, then it's not right for your community at this time. And we'll just help you in other ways to build intentional leadership in your area. Create a small cohort that will give you support, and there's no obligation to explore past then. And everything that we do in intentional living communities are conversation based, and we'll stay with you for as long as you need us in order to help you grow those communities. How should we proceed? If you have an interest in learning more about building an intentional living community in your area, then we can have a brief conversation to determine the fit, the timing, and the goals. Here's my contact information. My telephone number is 623 680 1776, and that's my phone, text, and WhatsApp. My email address is joe@intentionalachievements.com. We'll identify with you a local leader that would be the facilitator of that local community. That could be yourself or someone that you pick. We'll help you select 8 to 15 participants for your pilot program and then launch with our full support. We'll give you a facilitator's guide, give you some facilitation training and some leadership training, and see how it goes. So
Thank you.
we that was pretty quick, but if there are any questions, I'll be happy to answer them at this time.
Thank you, Joe. I think we have time for one question, and then after that, you're more than welcome to connect in the chat and take it further. Does anyone has a question for Joe? Or any comments? I was actually thinking, Rhonda, not to put you on the spot, but I was thinking about you and the whole midwives, and maybe I don't know, there might be some synergies eventually.
Well, there are definitely some synergies. It's looking at a different group of demographics, but I love the idea that it's running everywhere globally because that's an important part of my work as well. and the fact that no matter where you are, you can be doing, whatever is coming up this week. So that's a wonderful part of what you're doing, Joe. I'll get in
Thank you.
touch with you at some time in the future and we'll get this figured out. Thank you
Thank
so
you, and I
much.
appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Excellent. Thank you, Rhonda, and thank you, Joe. I invite you to stay here with us, so you can learn from others as well and see if there's
Looking forward
any
to it.
opportunity. Thank you, and I look forward to having Lida in one of the Spanish calls soon.
Yes, definitely.
I would like to move to Paula. Um, Paula, I saw some synergies, like some similarities, although your work is, or at least what I've seen is mainly with nonprofits, but I think
Right.
it's somehow related, and maybe as a transition, having you going next, that will make sense.
That sounds like a perfect segue. I did not do a PowerPoint, so I'll just talk
No
for a few
worries.
minutes, and we can take it wherever it goes. But my name is Paula Seidel, and there is absolutely some synergy in the presentation I just witnessed. So that's wonderful. I am based in Washington, D.C. I have a long history of working in nonprofits and association management. So, looking at organizations that are 501(c)(3)s or 501(c)(6), like membership organizations or educational organizations. And I started my business about a year and a half ago. It's called Powerful Partners, and we help organizations, and here's the key word, be intentional and strategic about their partnerships and alliances. So really looking at who the organizations are already working with, who should they be like partnering with or creating alliances, creating memorandums of understanding, and creating more synergy to get work done. And I created this based on, my work, which was I had a golden thread that went through my career. And starting out as sort of a, fresh out of college, I was a theater major. I don't do that anymore, but I will tell you, I learned so much about people and everything in that. I thought I'd get a job at this nonprofit and I'd be there 6 months, and I stayed for 24 years. And the way I got my work done was by reaching out to other colleagues, reaching out to other organizations. Nonprofits and associations, they're small, they have to be nimble, and you're always doing 5 different jobs at once. And so I created my business model on the thing I do best, which is making connections that count, and really leaning into the partners that I already have to get work done. And my philosophy is that the world's work is so big and so broad. Nobody can do it alone. And a good example of that is when I worked at the American Institute of Architects. Right when I got there, they had embraced climate change as one of their major strategic pillars. Well, the architects aren't going to solve that by themselves, and they knew that. And I give them credit for actually putting a person like me into place to figure out who we should be working with to move our initiatives forward so that we can work as a group, go in as the built environment, and get some things done. And so I really hope to help organizations leverage that same power, no matter what their size is. And I think it's definitely a gap. And I will say it has been a little bit of pushing a boulder uphill, because I think a lot of groups that I talk to, a lot of them say, like, oh, we already have connections, we're friends with that organization. But I'm really asking them to lean in a little further and take it very seriously, right? And figure out, like, where are the gaps in your work and how can you get that work done by partnering with someone. And that is including sharing capacity, it's sharing resources, it's sharing the good news when it comes in. It might be sharing some of the bad news, but I mean, I think it's one of those things where it's better to go in as a group on some of these large issues. And some of the things that I've worked in have been climate change, sustainability, immigration, labor, healthcare. So just really, there's no one issue that needs more help than others, right? There's just a lot to do in this world. With the current climate right now, I think it's important to address that there is a lot of disruption in the market, especially here in Washington, D.C. But I actually think that brings a lot of hope for the work that I'm doing, because the work, even if it's maybe not on the top agenda of whichever politician, it still needs to get done. And so it's a matter of finding a way to get that work done. Maybe it's not on a federal level, maybe it's on a state or local level, maybe it's on an international level. So that's really the message of my organization. I do offer right, like organizational development, help in developing boards and volunteer management as well. That's also in my portfolio. But the thing that's near and dear to my heart is the partnership piece, because I really think that that's key to moving forward, especially now and in a different environment. So that's my short spiel. I'm happy to answer any questions. I've put all my contact information in here, and I'm also happy to have calls, coffee calls, whenever anybody's ready.
Thank you, Paula. And any questions for Paula? And I assume you Paula and Chris Bennett, you're connected, right?
We are. We
Yeah.
are. It's nice to have a friend on the call.
I have a question for Paula.
Sure.
So, Paula, if you could describe your ideal engagement or this project, what would that look like?
I think it would be actually a medium to large organization that really needs to sort of organize where, all the different silos that they're working in, and really like create a framework for what's on their priority list, what needs to get done, who do they already know, who do they need to know. And I also tell organizations that it takes like 12 to 18 months to make those connections. So my ideal client really is, a medium-sized organization just really wanting to get organized and energized, especially in this market, to get some work done, to keep things running. I will work with smaller organizations too, and I do some volunteer work on that level, helping organizations mostly on that level, like a smaller organization. It's a more fundraising pipeline, like building that pipeline of potential donors, which also falls into the framework of what I do. I usually say it comes in 3 buckets. It's building relationships for advocacy. So if you're going to make an ask, legislatively, it's building those relationships for fundraising, for donors, for major gifts. And then the last one is it's kind of the thing I really like the best is the programmatic initiatives. What type of project can you work on in tandem with another organization? And a good example of that is that when I worked at AIA, we actually took the first group of architects to the UN climate change conference, COP. And the only way we could do that was really leaning in with our partners. If we went by ourselves, it wasn't going to be much of a, it'd be like we were there. But when we joined hands with like 8 other organizations, we actually went en masse and we were able to go as a united group as the built environment. So things like that would be more of a program type initiative.
Thank you for that.
No, thank you for the question.
Sorry, I was muted. Thank you very much, Paula. And
Thank you.
Chris. I think I have someone, and Doug might agree with me. There's someone in Bali, Indonesia, that for you, Paula, and even for Joe as well, might be a good connection to explore. She's really running a whole platform of purpose-driven businesses, and it's very interesting what she's building. So I
love
think
that.
I'm gonna make that triple connection after the event today.
Triple connection sounds amazing. Thank you.
And I think, Chris, if we can stick to you, I know you have like a special opportunity. You're looking for some support, people interested to learn more on the IP rights. Chris, if you can cover a little bit of that today, that would be great. Chris, you're on mute, just in case.
Thank you for that, Cesar. So I think I can, if I may share my screen. I was actually following up the original presentation by Joe, and I was like, wow, he's got PowerPoint. Paul's got very articulate wording. I need to have something, pretty engaging real fast. So while listening to them, I decided to try to put together something that I think will convey what we're trying to do. And so let me ask our audience, have any of you ever experienced coming up with an idea that someone took and used it to make money? Well, what I'm sharing today is actually we have a promotion for software called IP Rights Raw, and its focus is on ideas and innovation. And you might know that I'm a recovering intellectual property attorney. So I've been practicing over 10 years, have over 100 clients. And one of my motivations is that gentleman in that picture, hopefully you can see it. That's my uncle, Wiley Bennett. In the 60s, he wrote a hit song, should have been worth over $1 million to him. He didn't understand copyrights. So He didn't get that copyright, which would have produced generational wealth and royalties for him. That and some other motivations prompted us to take our knowledge from being lawyers and put it in some software and launch a public benefit corporation, which means that it has both making money for its funders, but also a social impact mission as its fiduciary responsibilities. And it's called IP Rights for All. That's to do business as. The reason I'm going to show you a few pictures to give you an idea of how powerful is this intellectual property idea thing. My uncle is second from the left in the picture with Maurice Williams in the Zodiac. He's the $1 million loss. To the right of him, you see a musical artist, Kendrick Lamar. He's put intellectual property in his songs, and he's worth millions because intellectual property, especially copyrights, covers songs. On the left, you see LeBron James. He has a media company, and he's a famous basketball player called Uninterrupted IP. It is the intellectual property residue or formation for him to create his ideas and to actually create value from them. To the right of LeBron, you see Taylor Swift. She recently completely got back her songbook, which she had granted to labels. And she went through a lot of money and time to recover that because she can control it. Because if you have a copyright in something, you can control who distributes it, who copies it, how it's performed. Last but not least on the examples, on the left, you see a gentleman who's a performing artist, Bad Bunny. Just so happens he's going to be the performing artist at the Super Bowl coming up. And I hope my Rams are in there. If not, c'est la vie. Because he covers music. But also on the right, you see the most valuable company in the world currently, NVIDIA. I think their market cap is about $5 trillion. The software that they wrote is protected by copyrights. And they also use other forms of intellectual property. And we know that because we have clients that actually work with NVIDIA. So I took you through this journey just for a couple of reasons. Number one, there's something called common law or unregistered intellectual property rights. You probably create them today. For example, Joe's presentation, if he created that, he put it in something to show on the screen, he gets in common law or unregistered copyright with that. It's not legal advice. This is just factual information. Now, we did some analysis, and it was actually prompted by the Global Chamber. What you said, what's the average value of an unregistered copyright, one that you start to use and you meet the standard and exist, versus registering it? And our data came back, it's about, for all the other forms of intellectual property, it's about $138,000 for average intellectual property right. If you register that, it goes up by a factor of more than 4. So what we've done is we've created some software called IP Rights for All. We're asking folks to consider showing their interest. And if they are interested in it, we'll start offering it in January. And for a $25 pilot, we'll not only provide a copyright supported by an attorney for them, but we'll actually also do one for someone they care about. What you see on the screen here is the average value of an intellectual property right from copyrights up to patents. Now, this is skewed because it actually includes big companies like NVIDIA, but it also includes small performers like a version of my Uncle Wally before he wrote that hit song. IP doesn't care about where you live. It doesn't care about your education. It cares about your ability to create inventions, creative expression, and things that merit that protection. So we want to empower a lot of people to do this. And right now we're starting with copyrights, which covers creative expression. And we're offering that motivation, that holiday promotion says, register to get a copyright for $25, and we'll do one for you and also for someone you care about as a holiday promotion. Now, let me pause for a second because you may say, have you done this before? Well, in fact, we did. For trademarks, we actually offer this promotion to a program called Her Impact in Chicago. One of the founders was a consultant, registered and got a trademark for their practice. And they said, while I'm at it, I have a son in Atlanta who's in the media program. I want to get one for him too. The cool close to that is both their trademarks came in this month, in December. So in 12 months, they are fully registered trademarks, one for her consulting business, the other for his media promotion company. We want to make that same thing happen, starting with copyrights and for others. So I'd love if you're interested, email me and just say you're interested. That's all we need. We'll follow up. And also, if you're interested in what we're doing in general, we're in the Penn West Founder Institute Accelerator Program in Washington, D.C. We'll graduate in February. Follow us there because we're on social media at LinkedIn. So with that said, I'll stop because IP can be like drinking water from a fire hose, and I can nerd out on it, and I don't want to do that to you. I want you to have a happy holiday without all that stuff. But I'll take any questions that you have.
Okay, this is Basil. Can
Hey,
you
Go
hear
ahead,
me?
Basil.
Basil.
Yes, I can hear you.
Sign me up.
Okay. Basil, this is awesome. All I need you to do is I'll put my email in the chat.
Okay.
Just send an email, and that signs you up.
Okay then, we'll do that.
All right. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
So it's very simple. It's just sending you an email and the person will be added to it, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
We're trying to
Okay.
make this as frictionless as possible.
Perfect. Perfect. So anyone else interested, just watch out for the link here. I haven't seen it yet in the chat, but for the email, and so you can connect with Chris. And I see Jim. Jim, you have a question.
Great presentation. My question is how on IP, especially patents, as soon as you get a patent pending, the bots kind of get merchandise and product and service out before the patent really gets through because it takes decades to get a patent anymore. How can you protect with the bots from around the world from getting your service or product out before you can get your patent?
Well, Jim, so again, not legal advice, but just best practice. There are a couple of things that can be done. One is file a provisional, and that's not reviewed. So that's not in the public domain. It gives you a year to actually fully develop the patent idea, assuming that it meets the standard of novel, non-obvious, useful, and you're willing to publish it if it's granted so others can replicate. So our suggestion would be based on best practice, do a provisional, and while you're doing that, develop what you have as a trade secret as much as you can protect that way. Because that's a technique that the software developers and others are using. And then, once it hits the public domain, though, you can't protect it from the bots. So it's wise to take all your protection measures up front. So if someone starts to use it, you can send them a cease and desist. You can take the appropriate legal action. So hopefully that responds to your question.
It's just interesting. Some of my clients have, and I've seen it before, lost their market share because a lot of the bots get the information, put it out before they can even start manufacturing. So the market's shot. So I'm just curious on how you can. I'll follow up with you with an email.
Sounds like a plan because there's some registration services that you can use that also enhance that protection. And some of them are cost-free for folks who are offering intellectual property they want to license or sell. And thank you for the question.
This is a really important topic, Chris. And a lot of people when they start, they're not thinking about this. And you put Bad Bunny on it. And I don't know if you know, but he is in a couple of lawsuits with an ex-girlfriend. And so when you're starting, you're not thinking about the future. So totally important. Thank you, Jim, and thank you, Chris. Before moving to the last two speakers, I would like to offer and spotlight for a minute a couple of members. So we have a new member from Bulgaria, Krum. Krum, if you can just say a few words about what you're doing, what your company is doing. I understand your main interest is in the US, so this is a good moment for you to spotlight and get everyone know what you're working on. And welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm very happy that in this group so different businesses and people with unit. So my name is Krum and I am a trade representative of company Vemo. Company Vemo is a medium producer of food supplements, herbal extracts, phytoadditives, and enzymes. We are located in Sofia, Bulgaria. We have 2 factories, one in Sofia and one in Kneža. One factory for herbal extracts. We are a producer of herbal extracts, and one factory for food supplements for sports, health, and active people. So mostly we want to develop our brand and want to find new customers and suppliers in USA. We produce 100% organic products from wild Bulgarian herbs. So this is very active products, and they really working for the health of the people. So what is our target groups is our athletic, all kinds of athletics, and strongers, bodybuilding, fitness people which going to active in the fitness centers, people under 40 which have problem with weight and with hormonal balance, suppliers, producers of food supplements. They can buy extracts from us. And we are also producing feed additives for chicken farm, for duck farms, for all kinds of animals. So I will be very happy if I find some friends in your face which will be interested from our products. I'm here not to sell our products, just to tell you that our products is really fantastic. That is from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Krum. Are you already selling? So is the product already in the US, or you're
We
just
sell in
starting?
USA. Yes, we have warehouse in US, but I don't know where.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but
But I like how specific you are. Like, you know, anyone who has someone in the fitness area in the network, or someone in athletics, and so feel free to tap it to Krum and make a recommendation, make a connection. That's and I'm gonna take a look. I have a couple ideas in mind, group, so happy to follow up on that.
we also sell products for sporties. It's very suitable. Our products for sporties, basketball, football, volleyball. All for sporties is incredible. Use it because they need from strong and from power. So
Perfect.
this is also big target group for our supplements.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Krum. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
And I would like to invite Stuart Argo. Stuart, if you in a minute, please, can you introduce yourself? Also a new member coming from Edinburgh, part of the new chapter that our team is building there. Stuart, welcome.
Hi, thanks very much. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you.
Great. Sorry, I was a little bit late in joining today. I had a client call just before I came on, and yes, I'm very new to Global Chamber, so I really have no idea what I'm doing. But you know, I've joined the call today to hear a little bit more, just see how it all works. I've taken part in one call before, but it's all very new to me, so I'm just learning as I go along and finding it really interesting. Being in a call with people whose worlds are very different to mine, and just about the variety of companies and products and markets and services. For me, though, I don't know if it's showing up on the screen, but I've got my own consultancy called Lighthouse PR, as in public relations. Oh. Was anyone else getting that echo?
Yeah. I got that person muted. Okay.
You're
Okay,
getting
great.
feedback. Your speakers and your mic are probably too close.
Yeah. So I was just saying that I've got my own consultancy, Lighthouse PR. It's all about public relations and communications. And some of the areas that I specialize in are just helping people to get to where they want to go, like a lighthouse would, through communications, but also staying away from the rocks along the way. And we all know in business or just in life generally, there can be a lot of those. So the kinds of people that I support are ones where it's quite high stakes for them, and it's very important that they get to the right destination, and it's very important that things stay safe along the way because a little misstep here could have really significant consequences for them. And that might be organizations who are dealing with quite difficult historical issues, perhaps schools and institutions that have got things in their past that are quite difficult. Could be a company today that's looking to make some redundancies, and they need to make sure that they are getting that message landed properly with their clients, suppliers, staff, partners. But I also get the opportunity to tell happier, nicer stories on behalf of clients, such as a rewilding project. But again, where there are possibly some sensitivities, and it's really important that they get the wording right, they get the right people on board, and that they're anticipating the things that could go wrong as far as communications is concerned. And so that's the kind of help that I provide people with. That's practically through doing message workshops, doing issues workshops where we're trying to anticipate all the things that could go wrong. I do spend quite a lot of my life in a negative headspace, but then that's what clients need me for, because they don't want someone to just come along and tell them, don't worry, it'll all be fine. You don't have to worry about a thing, because unfortunately things do go wrong. So workshops, creating the messaging for them, stakeholder mapping, and also a lot of presentation and interview coaching and training as well. So those are
Thank you. Thank you.
the
Thank you so
various
much.
disciplines I have.
Do you put the information there in the chat?
I haven't, no. So is that it's probably
Please.
an instruction I missed from not being here at the start of the call.
I forgot to put in. I always do, but you know, put your contact detail, your LinkedIn, and people can start connecting with you.
Right. Okay. I will do that. I thought that was
Perfect.
you indicating to me I talked far too long, so I'm going to stop now.
No, that's fine. It's just trying to get the time set for the top of the hour. So, but I appreciate it, and it's great connecting with you. I haven't had the chance either, so that's great. Thank you. Then for the next presentation, I would like to call Dr. Yvan Demosthenes from our Global Chamber Cincinnati chapter. Yvan, are you there?
I am here. Apologies, everybody. I have an appointment in Pennsylvania, so I'm in my car. I'll turn on the screen here so you can see me driving through the Midwest, the beautiful state of Ohio.
Be safe. Be safe, Yvan.
Yes. Happy Friday, everybody.
Happy Friday. Yvan, if you can give it an update, you're an expert in executive recruitment, but give it an update what you're doing, the opportunities in the industry, and any ways that we can help you.
Yes, so I've been in the workforce space for over 20 years and started my own business about 8-9 years ago with Hamilton Demo, and helping with executive search, professional placement, not only all over the country, but I've assisted people in different parts of the world. Actually, I've helped place a few people in the Middle East and other places from the chamber as well. So it's been this has been a very awesome experience for me. And with the city of Cincinnati, I've also helped local members coach them through their job search experience, helping them with their resumes, connecting them with others in our network, all things in the job search. So some great things are going on because I'm sure everybody knows it's been the last 2-3 years have been very interesting, unprecedented, let's say, and some
I think we
exciting
lost
things
him.
that have happened as a from. I'm sorry. Am I back?
You're back. Yes, you're good.
Okay, great. So yeah, just from the results of the pandemic and from the tail of that, as many of you know, we are focusing on the microelectronics and semiconductor industry. So, as the gentleman before was talking about a lot of copyrights, etc., many companies are coming back. Not just Nvidia, not just Intel, but a lot of small and medium-sized companies are now reestablishing themselves and coming into new areas of their business to help support that pipeline chain of semiconductors and microelectronics. And I've had the good fortune in the past year to provide consulting to develop and attract that workforce into that space. So the Chips and Science Act from the Biden administration and Congress established a network of consortiums throughout the country. And so I've been involved with them and worked with universities, other emerging companies, and training centers to provide that assistance in not only attracting young and experienced people. And when I say young, I mean literally from kindergarten, from 6 years old, to people who have been professionals and been in the workplace for 30, 40 plus years. Everybody in between. And creating that attraction, because not a lot of people are aware what is going on within that semiconductor microelectronic space. So bringing that awareness and then providing that development, and to those who are currently in here, how we're able to reallocate their resources and knowledge into this space. So I'm looking forward to 2026. Any of you that need recruiting, executive search, please feel free to reach out to me. And especially if you're in this space, I would love to assist and make connections for you as well.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you, Ivan.
So, Staystar, would you be kind enough to share my contact information, my phone number, and email? Yeah. Since I'm driving,
I would ask you. Yes, yes. I want you to be safe, so I can put your LinkedIn and all that. So,
yeah. Thank you.
and any questions or comments for Ivan? And if not, I'm just gonna put his contact details. He's amazing, and I know Chris is leaving a message there. But yeah, let's move forward. Thank you very much, Dr. Ivan. Good to see you here today.
Cheers. Happy Friday, everybody.
Happy Fridays and happy holidays to you. Before I jump into the last one, I picked someone to close the event for us to be the last one in the year. But before that, I would like to ask Wagner Mentler from Brazil. Wagner, if you have a minute or two so you can introduce yourself. I haven't seen you in a while, so it would be great to put you in the spotlight today.
Hey, Cesar. Thank you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Okay, I believe my camera is not working so well. I'm trying to to turn it on here, but I'm not sure if
It's
you
not
can see me.
working. No, but
Okay.
that's fine. Again, we can hear you clear.
Okay, no problem. So, well, talking a little bit about the SGF. SGF is a global HR consultancy firm, And in a nutshell, what we do is that we assist companies with their talent needs. So whether they need to recruit, headhunt, find new talent for specific projects, this can be even in a local situation or international. We can assist. So as Jeff is working with alongside, I would say right now, 35 countries, and we can help with services such as headhunting, staffing, and also visas, immigration, international hiring, nearshoring. I would say that there's lots of different types of services that we can assist, all within the human capital solutions. And as Jeff is throughout the whole South America, Latin America is our strongest region, but we also have offices in other places such as US, where we have our headquarters, and we also have offices in Spain, Portugal, all the way into Morocco, Israel, and Portugal. So yeah, that's that in a nutshell. That's it. So we can assist with headhunting, we can assist with recruitment, with any type of services, and our motto here is talent when you need it, where you need it. So if you need anything related to services with talent, please come to us.
Thank you, Wagner. Is Rebecca still here? I saw Rebecca Acuna from the city of San Antonio.
Yes, hi, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Rebecca. Can you say a few words and introduce a little bit of what San Antonio is doing for 2026?
Sure. Sure, I'm happy to. I turned on my video. I'm not sure if you can see me though.
We can see you.
Um,
And thank you for so I was just 5 minutes ago, I got the email that it was you, the one with the Z 2001 number there. So thank you.
Thanks. Yeah, well, thank you so much for letting me join the meeting today. And it's been nice to hear about some of the work that many of you are doing. My name is Rebecca Acuna, and I'm the Business Advancement Manager for the City of San Antonio in our Economic Development Department. I work very closely with our global engagement team that is focused on kind of international diplomacy and international relations. And I focus more on attracting businesses to San Antonio and retaining the businesses that are in San Antonio. One of the things that, I'm not sure how many of you really know or have been to San Antonio or visited San Antonio or know much about San Antonio, but we are a unique city within the state of Texas that is really very international, particularly with our connection to our Latin America roots. We are a city that is very small in mind, but very big as a city. And we are, yes, and we have the Riverwalk, which is wonderful and beautiful and continues to grow. But we're really like a really big city, but with a small town feel. So one of the things that we are trying to do in our kind of strategic framework for economic development is to continue to establish ourselves as an international and global city that we all already are, but not as well known about. So we are making a lot more efforts with our sister cities, of which we have 22 of them around the world, and 4 friendship cities. And we're also trying to attract more foreign direct investment and strengthen our trade relationships with several countries. So for anyone who is thinking about potentially relocating or establishing a business in the United States, think of San Antonio. We are a city where costs are lower. But yet we're still international. We have a great reputation for delicious food. We are actually the #1 city in Texas for tourism. Excuse me, my phone is ringing. And we have the mindset and the willingness to provide bespoke services to anyone who's interested in establishing themselves in San Antonio. So yeah, I mean, if anyone has any questions or is interested, we would love to speak to you. I can put my contact in the link in here, and I'm happy to answer any questions if anyone has any. Thanks.
Thank you, Rebecca. Then this take us to the end, and we all gonna drive. Ivan is driving to an appointment, and so we all gonna get a quick medical appointment with Dr. JC Baker. Dr. JC Baker is an expert in sales and business growth, and we've had a couple of series of events with him in the past. We are looking to bring that back in 2026, and I thought he would be a great resource to close the call and give us a couple of tips. Given the unprecedented times that we're living at, maybe a couple of sales tips and how we can move forward for the next year. Dr. Baker, thank you and welcome. The floor is all yours to close the call.
Cesar, thanks so much. Cesar, thanks so much for inviting me and allowing me to really learn a lot about the businesses that have been introduced today. Everyone, I am an actual literal business doctor. It's not metaphorical. It's not marketing. We invented this industry 9 years ago. We have over 1,700 business patients, and we are in 15 countries. And so we invented business health and what it takes for a business to be healthy. And so with that, what I'm excited about regarding everyone's participation here is that you're open enough, you're transparent enough to say what you do, how you do, and then you're looking for those contacts. You're hunting ways to say yes and not no. And so that's an element of business health that tends to get lost and forgotten in our current society with everything being digital and especially with the craze of AI. We have thought that the touch points are less important, but I remind you that they're could never be more important. Authenticity and interaction and connectivity is more important than ever. So kudos to everybody here, especially for some of you newer members. Our work is very simple. We look at a business and we determine the health of that business. And if that business is not healthy, we nurse that business. And so I do that with my team of practitioners, our business hospital wings, and our pharmacy of businesses that have expertise outside of the ones that we have specifically in-house. And so essentially, I am a complement or a supplement to every single business that's in here. We are not competition to anyone. We are two nonprofits and one for-profit. And so we exist to make sure that no business will fail of any way. There is no certain size, type, or structure. There's also no demographic or geographic location that changes our effectiveness for treatment. When we say treatment, part of it is consulting, part of it is coaching, but all of it is nursing. And we do that through high level intellect, lots of data, lots of nursing touch points. We give real prescriptions, we give real rehab, and we actually manage that business to make sure that that business is better. One thing that is a benefit of our business hospital is that we help businesses grow and expand just by the fact that we are an internal network ourselves. For an example, if we have a business that needs assistance and what you do for a living will help that business, you become the medication for that business. And so we've grown businesses just by the simple reality of our existence. When Caesar was talking about sales, that's my personal expertise, even though I'm a general practitioner. I was number one in sales in 5 different industries. So a lot of what I see comes from how to grow a business economically, how to help them generate more revenue, more capital. I'm also certified in finance. I've written 7 books on these matters. And so I exist as an actual expert to make sure that if you don't have an answer, we got to have an answer. It is unacceptable and not okay if the business hospital doesn't have an answer. So I'm really excited about 26 for us because we invented a technology called Hospital Plus that will allow us to treat almost 50 times the amount of patients at the exact same time. So we're now a hospital on steroids. And so I look forward to meeting with folks that really want to increase the general health of their business. If they want additional contacts, if there's a door that needs to be open, if there's a favor that they need requested or granted, please just start with us. My concern is that you grow, that you don't go in reverse, that your business doesn't close, and that you create the impact that you saw in your mind. In 2026, let's make sure our goals are clear, that we know what we want to accomplish and who we want to accomplish it with, and let's do that with a passion that can't burn out. It gets tough when you're a business owner. Sometimes you might feel lonely. Sometimes people ghost you. Sometimes they do things that they say one way and then they do the opposite. Let's keep our passion. Let's keep our fire and let's be a resource to one another and hold each other's hands to make sure that we all can grow. Any questions for me?
Dr. Baker, thank you very much. I really like the way you suggest we as a community work together. I see Nikhil. I have a question.
Oh yes, thank you so much. My apologies. All I just it's almost 10:30 here and quite late night here, and it was good hearing Dr. Baker. One very straightforward question: do you work on a quarterly to quarterly sales basis? Just get the numbers, you know.
Do we work on a quarterly basis?
I mean to say, do you work on a quarterly to quarterly sales achievement basis? If we give you targets, would you be able to achieve that?
Quick answer to that is yes. We work literally in all formats. So when you say quarterly, can we look at your business and determine if it's healthy enough in order to increase quarter by quarter, year over year, day by day, month by month, hour by hour? That answer is yes. And we do that in a host of ways, whether we're talking procedurally, systematically, philosophically, infrastructure wise, execution wise, audience conversion wise. We're going to look at the overall health of your ability to do that with the resources and skill sets that you have. And then we're going to combine it to what's a standard in the industry, plus every other input that would affect your business.
Right. So what I
Thank,
meant to
thank,
ask.
Mikhail, I'm gonna make sure just for you two to connect. We went a little bit over. I need to officially wrap up, and I'm gonna close the recording and keep the room open so you two can continue speaking. If anyone wants to stick around, more than welcome. But I wanted to officially close the call and thank you everyone for joining us today and making this an amazing busy call, last one of the year, and I'm wishing you all an amazing holidays and a wonderful 2026. I look forward to working with all of you. And now, as I said, officially, I'm gonna turn off the recording and I'm gonna keep the room open so you can continue talking and discussing opportunities. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.